guys, back again. Another quick video. Just going to go over our troll skin. More of a heavier goblin green this time. Try not to get onto the scales. And just before doing this, I was just painting my tower, my little scenery piece that I've been working on recently, and yeah, it's almost done. I'm really happy with it actually, how it's turning out. So I'll get a picture up on the group page at some point. Maybe not tomorrow, but the next day. I just need to flock the base. And yeah, it's pretty much done. So very happy to see that finished. Then I can do the little barn that I've done as well. It's a little wooden barn. So I'll start that through the week or next week sometime. Need to get the fences done and some like rocky outcrops done as well. Redo some of the hills. Just work on those a little bit and get them up and running, and then do some fences. Did I say fences already? Maybe I did. And yeah, I've sort of got some terrain in for the table, so that'd be great. So mix some yellow in there now and see how that goes. This is like a super light skin tone, that green on his body. It's probably a bit too dark still. Let's put some of that beige I've got here as well. And just trying to think what else I'm going to do for the table after I've done all those pieces of terrain that I've set out to do. Maybe another couple of houses or something. I'll need to do like a marsh or a bog or something as well. Something like impassable terrain. Something like impassable terrain feature would be cool to have on there. And I've got to make the bridge as well. Got to get that done at some point. I just think I'll do that next month. I don't think I'll have time this month to do it. Plus I need to work out how I'm going to do the other river sections. I've sort of made them in like 1 foot pieces so that it would fit straight across a 4 foot wide table. Sort of going, straight pieces and sort of snaked pieces that yeah, when joined up, they'll be perfectly 4 foot. I don't like rivers that have overlapping sections that go straight over the edge of the table because it doesn't look very nice, and it's prone to get knocked and moved around a lot. going to concentrate on this face for the moment, just to get to the right color that I need. And yeah, when I'm happy with that, I'm just going to do the rest of the body. So I'm just adding more yellow to the skin now. I've got the army book close at hand, so if I need to just reference the skin again, I can just do it quickly by myself. In fact, I'll just give that a little bit of time to just dry for a second, and I'm just going to have a quick look. As I'm sure it was like a really, yeah, super, I'll put one to the camera here. Yeah, super bright green. So my green's way too dark for that. So what else are we going to do here? What other colour can we put in there? Yeah, the other colours I've got are not really vibrant enough, so I need something like super vibrant to get in there. I'm going to put some more ink on here. And let me just work on this hand actually. I'm just going to put some of that ink straight into the yellow. And then add some beige to that. That's more of the colour we need, I think, eh? I was using a lot of beige on the building itself, on the wooden structure for all the highlights and that kind of thing. So beige has proved to be, again, to be a really useful colour for doing like wooden panels and just highlighting all those browns and that kind of thing as well. Okay, so I'm just going to grab some of that ink here and just do that, and with the yellow, I think it needs more yellow in there. I mean, I'll give that time to just dry a little bit. It's just too wet there to work with, so. But I think I'm on the right track with the colours. It's getting there. Yes, have a think about the most influential person you think were in the design studio during the 90s, and you know, tell me what you think about you know, not necessarily your favorite person, but like who do you think was the most influential in creating that kind of image, or you know, sort of reinforce that image. You know, I thought Mark Gibbons was like, probably my pick would be probably Mark Gibbons, I think, because his artwork, it really defined that whole era, the whole 10 years that he was, you know, prolifically working there. He set the tone really, you know, artistically wise. That sort of influenced a lot of other people at the same time. to say, well, that's basically the standard that we're gonna, or the aesthetical look we want the everything to be on the army books and that kind of stuff. So everyone sort of wanted to be just like him, and in that sense, in his style. Every time you look at his artwork and illustrations, you think immediately to that time. And then I suppose, like every generation, every decade or so, they just sort of just change and swap out artists and get new people in, either as like trainees or whatever. And then, the whole sort of whole look of it has changed, really, isn't it? Now it's all very, ultra realistic looking. And a lot of it's sort of done through computers now. It's not sort of traditionally done now, I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's sort of half and half or whatever. I'm not all that clued up on what those guys are doing now, but I'd imagine most of it's all digital now. So this is only going to be a short video, guys, probably about 30 minutes or so, I'd say. Just working on the flesh. I think we're just going to work on this guy just for the 30 minutes today. And then the next video we'll go back to the ogre. And maybe do the ogre and something else and just sort of switch it out and around. Keep things fresh. I've got Gotrek sitting there too, so I might, here's another one that's good for like doing flesh tones and that kind of thing, so I might get him in the ogre next time. Ivory would be a good colour there to just do the very final highlights on the, to make it like really sort of a really whitish green colour. So they get some more. I think that arm sort of is looking better now. It's looking, close to what we need it to be. Yeah, so get some more yellow and ivory on the palette. Yeah, and I'll just show you quickly. These are the two guys I found that I had of the Heroes of the Empire. So he's, I think Ludwig, I think his name is. He's like I think it's like the champion of the Emperor or something, or the Emperor's champion or something like that, maybe. He's got some wicked looking freehand on his horse that I think Mike McVeigh did this set. I'll have to get some the images out of the book later in the next video, when I get around to actually painting these guys. But yeah, some of the freehand they put on the barding on those horses are like very intimidating. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to pull those off, but I'm going to try doing it. It'd be quite a good challenge. You know, it'll make that what's her name, the Supreme Patriarch, that barding like just a piece of cake compared to the stuff they did on the other horses. Just adding a little bit of yellow in there too. So just get some of that ivory and some of that and mix it all together. And yeah, let's start doing this face. Bit of dried paint there. Let's get that out of there. Hit a vein of water there, so on the brush, so just let that sort of dry out a bit first before I do anything more. It's great to see the Hero Hammer group really active and a lot of people posting stuff. It's really good to see that. Adam posted up some really great battle, some like I should say photographs of his battle report that he did with his friend using a halfling army. So it must have been an army that was in one of the Citadel journals at the time, that you could take a halfling army. So look, that looked really interesting, and I think I've seen it before somewhere. I'm sure I've seen images of that army before somewhere. He's got like these, you know, these giant geese that are like his cavalry units that are flying. Yeah, they look really cool. And then he had about like 4 or 5 halfling hot pots or something like that, something really crazy. And then like a large regiment of like halflings on foot. And then I don't think he had any archers though, which is quite bizarre. I have to have another look at that photograph, but he put a whole series of photographs on the group page. I'm going to put them all together and make a little video for him, because yeah, some really nice stuff. His Orc and Goblin units, very much like mine. You know, he's got the classic 4th Ed Orc boys and biggins in his unit. He's got Azag the Slaughterer. He's got Rotgut in there. Looks really nice. Wolf Riders of the same type that I've got. So yeah, very similar army to what I have. Don't know if you can see that belly of, you know, it's a bit hard to see with under the camera, but there he is. There's his big belly here. Sort of light on top and sort of darker down the bottom. And yeah, we'll just keep going and sort of build up all the highlights on him. So it does take time. Yeah, and like I said, we'll do the ogre tomorrow. We'll keep continuing on with that and just do one whole session with him. I know I'm sort of switching things out here and there, but I think maybe it doesn't really work so well in one video. Maybe just shorter videos of just one model and doing one particular thing might be better. The way I sort of feel about it anyway. I mean, batch painting would be, of course, work because you're sort of, you know, switching out models as you're painting one particular section of a model. But when you've got like 3 different or 4 different kinds of colors that you need to use, it doesn't really work so well. But we'll see how we go. We'll just play it by ear. So maybe might do like a Skaven kind of a video. I'm just painting Skaven. And so I've all got the same sort of color palette on my palette. You know, very similar colors, and it sort of works really well in the same video. The ogre and the dwarf would actually work quite well, so I think maybe Gotrek and him at the same time might work well. So just finding the right combinations of miniatures to do at the same time is just the key for that, I think. And then I could probably, you know, finish off the skin in the meantime, and then we can go into the scales or something. Maybe that's a better idea. So let me know, guys, what you think. You know, I don't want the videos to drag on forever on one particular model. So maybe just, you know, showing you something and then just finishing it off. Or just painting one complete section and finishing that, and then just finishing off the other parts. Might be a better idea, right? So just talking to Dan before about doing like a guest interview. It looks like he's pretty keen to do it, so, or keenish to do it. Maybe just, you know, I hope he doesn't feel obligated because I asked him. But yeah, if he wants to come on, I think it'd be great to hear about his Bretonnian army that he's building, and his sort of like his dream kind of army that he's doing now. That he's always wanted to paint ever since he was, you know, much younger, when the box set was around. So yeah, it'd be cool to hear his story about that, and how or what sort of triggered him or motivated him to get back into the whole project. As I'm sure for some have never left, and some have sort of coming back, like myself. Yeah, all I can say is thank God I never sold my Orc and Goblin army. I would have really regretted that if I did that. As I think Jesse at the time, Jesse's a guy in New Zealand, emailed me about it, and was talking to his wife about buying it, but he never emailed me back, and so thankfully that never actually happened and never eventuated. So now I've become a bit of a hoarder, and I'm just hoarding everything I can get my hands on. And then, you know, maybe trading some stuff if I think, well, I'm never ever going to, like, for example, if I've got some stuff that, you know, for an army that I'm never ever going to paint, and I know myself that I'm just never going to get around to doing it, then I much rather just give it to somebody or trade it with somebody that they're going to use it and paint it and play with it, as the opportunity of getting that particular model or those figures will come around again. But I've been really good. I've been off all those trading sites now for a long time. Only the Australian one, I sort of go in there every now and again. I just sort of check what's happening in Australia, because when I buy models and that kind of thing, it's usually in Australian dollars. And I know those guys there really well. They know me, and I can get some stuff sent to my parents' house, and then either they will send it to me in like a big bulk parcel at some point, or I'll come and get it at some later point and pick it up. But stuff out of Europe and all that kind of thing, I don't really do much anymore because of the international shipping costs and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of people just don't want to deal with you as soon as you say, I live in Japan. They go, oh no, sorry mate, it's just UK only and what have you, which is fair enough. But yeah, if you are looking to buy miniatures, and I think me and Justin sort of touched on this in the previous podcast, and also Dave did too. There are groups that have regular listings of models over several different trade groups on Facebook. If you're not on Facebook and you're thinking, where the hell else can I get them from? Well, there's always eBay, of course, but you've got the risk. Well, it's in one way it's safe because you've got PayPal, and every transaction should really be done through PayPal. Unless you're meeting somebody in person, you can pay them cash and pick up the models directly. But otherwise, I wouldn't do anything without PayPal. I've had zero issues. I think I had just one issue where this is talking about like Facebook, where I didn't receive the miniatures, and I contacted the seller, and he said, "Oh, my son had left the miniatures in his the parcel in his bag and has never sent it." So he ended up sending it to me with some extra models in it or something like that. So that was the only drama I've ever had with Facebook. So it's been really good. But yeah, eBay's hit and miss. I've had one really good, incredible purchase on there was my Anvil of Doom, my Dwarf Anvil of Doom. Got it for $20 Australian. There were no bids. There was some lady, I think, selling off her husband's. Maybe her husband passed away or something, I don't know, or her son or whatever. Selling off his stuff that was at her house, and she put the starting bid at $20, and I put my max bid at $50, and I thought straight after it, oh god, it's going to go, someone's going to grab it for $60 or $70, and then no one touched it, no one put a bid on it, and I won it, and got that sent to my parents' house, and I eventually got it sent over, and it was still in the box. It was complete. Some parts were painted, and I just stripped it back. Some parts were just bare metal. And yeah, that's what's sitting in my cabinet now. It's perfect. So you will find those unbelievable bargains that you would never think possible, but they just they're just not every day that they'll come around. So whether it's in the listing itself that people don't word it correctly, or they restrict it to where they're going to send it to, or something like that, maybe because this lady was only going to send it to us in Australia, and then all the international guys said, oh no, forget it, I'm not going to bid on it. Maybe that was a factor, because she wasn't going to send it to me in Japan. So I was lucky I just had an Aussie address I could send it to. So that's one good story out of eBay. And I've got some other Orc stuff there as well, for 40k, and some other dwarf stuff too. Just in bulk lots that some like some actual store was selling, and they were pretty decent priced, and I got them okay. So yeah, it's a bit of hit and miss really. Just got to see, and feel out the best kind of deals, and it can be very time consuming too, like just going through all the listings and then having to bid on stuff, and then keeping an eye on it. It could be like at various times during the day or night that you need to be watching for things. So I haven't been on eBay for quite a while now, and if I do, I just generally go through a store that I need to buy something like Flock or something like that, and not on the actual auction. So okay, well I think his flesh is looking pretty good. I think we've done pretty well today. Guys, what do you think? Okay, well, I think I'm going to wrap it up pretty soon, guys, and just go back to doing some stuff that I'm working on here, and we can leave this to continue on another video. But I think most of the flesh is all done now, like all that really soft underbelly kind of skin that he has here. Most of that's all done now, so it's some stuff right under here, but I can do that later. Just fix that up. You're never going to see that under the camera anyway. And I'm watching that The Last Kingdom, the 4th season now, and I'm quite enjoying that. At the moment, maybe Dan's watching it too. I forgot to ask him actually. Face, and it gives me time to just check the pictures again in the army book, just to make sure that everything's sort of matching up nicely as we go, because I want to get it as close to the original paint schemes as possible. But yeah guys, let's leave it there tonight, hey? I think I've given you 4 videos today, so you've done pretty well out of me now. So yeah, like I say, please ask me any questions if you like in the comments below about this tutorial, about anything else, about the paints or brushes, or any of the techniques or whatever I'm using. Tomorrow we'll do the ogre. We'll continue with the ogre, and I want to get a lot more done on him. So the red on the nose is dry, but it's quite red, so we want to just even that out. There's some other parts of the skin that I want to even out as well, and maybe either make it a little bit lighter or darker in certain places. We'll try to get all that chainmail coat done, and maybe his this wooden part here, the staff that he's holding, and work on the pants as well. So it's going to be in the same sort of style. So it's going to be red and black. That'll be the color scheme for him, so it'll be all in the same color scheme as the other Great Sword Empire guy as well. Alright guys, so hopefully you enjoyed that video. If you want to support me in any way, or just give me a sort of a thank you, then I am on Patreon. If you go to Patreon at the Crown of Command podcast, it's up and live now. If you want to go and visit my page there and just send me a few dollars, that all helps to buying new projects and paints and all that kind of thing. So if not, that's fine. But okay guys, I'll leave you to the next one. I'll see you tomorrow around about the same time. Okay guys, take it easy. Bye bye.